Hello and welcome to Richie's Truck and Auto. What we're going to do today is give some quick tips on how to properly install the pump rub fix kit from Merchant Automotive. This kit happens to be part number 1001. It comes with the new machined cover for the back half of the pump, the oil pump and the transfer case, gasket for between the transmission and transfer case, silicone for the two case halves, and some Loctite for the hardware holding the two halves of the pump together. This is an MP263 from New Process. It's the electronically actuated transfer case used in GMC Sierra. The tools you need is a small pry bar for separating the case halves, a pair of snap ring pliers to take out the snap ring holding the rear output shaft, T15 Torx, marker, 19mm deep socket, dead blow hammer to separate the case halves should it get stuck together, 15mm deep socket, and 10mm deep socket. I've already gone ahead and taken out the shaft speed sensor and the plug that allows access to that snap ring for the output shaft. As you can see, I've already removed the snap ring from the shaft. All you do is take the two halves, separate it, the shaft drops down. Then you can take off the halves of the transfer case. These little washers on top of these bolts, it's very important these bolts go back all in the same places because those washers keep the bolts separated from the magnesium alloy case. Without them, they cause severe oxidation and allows the bolts to freeze to the case cover. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start separating this here. There are some prying points right here. This is one. Right around the other side is another. That's where you're going to place your small pry bar. You put it in there and you tap on the case half, and the back of the transfer case usually just pops right off. So I'm going to have an assistant hold the camera for me while I go ahead and show you how to do that. All right, I've already marked these brackets. This one is number 2, this one's number 1, and where the stud goes here. It's just very important these go back where they came from because it makes wire routing much easier. From here. Right, inside of the case, you have this little clip. This is the little clip. This one happens to be intact. On some of the transfer cases, this breaks and causes the edge of this pump to rattle inside of the back cover. Now, in the extreme case, it can actually cut through the case, and on the back side here, you actually see an oil leak start to present itself. Transfer case loses all of its transfer case fluid. Worst case scenario, the bearing seizes up and you have a junk transfer case. So what this one does here is the back half of this cover takes place of this cover here. This is the oil pump, and now this is going to sit in here, and it's going to sit nice and firm. It probably lines up like that. Now the pump can no longer vibrate inside of the back cover. Some of the things I wanted to address, just bring the camera over here. This is the oil pump pickup. While you're in here, it's very important to clean this. There's a magnet in here. This is the pickup straw. This is where the oil gets drawn up into the oil pump. This gets very clogged. Now, I had this one apart earlier, that's why there's no silicone on here. But this is some of the debris right here that I pulled out of here. Now, it's nothing but silicone, but it can actually clog the pickup and prevent all the oil that should be flowing to the oil pump. All right, now what I'm going to do is take this here. Rubber snapper. This shaft just pops up. Take the oil pump feed off. This is what the screen looks like. Now, like I said, I've already gone ahead and cleaned it, but all of this debris that's here was all stuck on the bottom of this pickup screen. I did not clean this side of the housing, but if you come around here with the camera, we can show in here. This is some of the debris that still remains in there. I still have to clean this half of the pump. Can you get it up in there?
Get a glare from
right up in there. All right, take that back. Okay, what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to take these bolts out of the back cover. I'm going to split this cover and put the new cover on the back side of this one. So I'll go ahead and do that so you don't have to sit there and watch, and just pause the camera.
Good.
All right, this is the oil pump split in two halves. Inside of here is a gear rotor style pump. The pump and its cover only to go together one way. Once you do so, line up all of these. Line it up just like this, and we can put all the bolts in. Now, I'll again do that off camera so it doesn't waste any more footage time.
Okay.
This is what the pump cover should look like once it's all put back together again. Everything is going to sit just as it was before, except now you have these new tabs. The oil pickup is going to be oriented right here with the oil pickup port. I have some grease that I put inside of the bearing here, so the transfer case doesn't start dry. If you've got some miles in your transfer case, you want to go ahead and also replace that output shaft seal now, because it's easier to get to. So we're just going to go ahead and reverse procedure. Okay, when going back together, you don't want to put in too much of the silicone on there, because just like from the factory, it can fall inside and clog your pickup as well. I'm not going to show how exactly to do that right now, because it just takes more time than we don't necessarily need to do. It's relatively simple. It's just everything you did to take it apart, just going back together the same way. Again, just being not too liberal on the amount of silicone that you place on here. You want to go on the inside of all the bolts, because that's where you need the sealing to be, not on the outside of the bolt. You can put a little bit on the bolt when the bolt goes in, so it doesn't leak through the shaft and creep up the threads. And that's just about it. This transfer case had auto track fluid in it. Now, whether or not that's the reason why my clip didn't wear out, that's yet to be determined, but they usually call for ATF, that's automatic transmission fluid. We use synthetic and everything. To each his own though. We do believe in synthetics, especially AMSOIL. That's it. Thanks for watching, and good luck.